Back in the 1970s, when this personal growth and personal transformation movement was beginning, I was in the earliest of days, actually going back into the 1960s. One of the things I noticed was that most of the seminars at the time were rather mental, shall we say, and sometimes even a little rough on the participants. And I thought there was a different way that was more gentle, more honoring of the person, with more capability and freedom for people to express who they really are. And so when I created Insight, the basic thought I had was how to become more of who you already are, or how to become more of who you truly are. Now, a lot of people would wonder, well, why would I need any seminar to be more of who I really am? Well, many of us have learned lots of different behaviors over the years, different ways that are supposed to be socially acceptable about who it's okay to be, how is it okay to be, and underneath that, I find there's a lot of people who are settling for life as opposed to creating the life they truly prefer. So Insight was really about how do you create the life you prefer as opposed to what you may have settled for. Today there's even more pressures on people. There's more demands on our time. We're digitally distracted by all kinds of things. And there's almost a social angst that you feel around the world when you listen to people talking correctly about the problems that we have just as a planet, whether it's global warming, ice shelves falling apart, sea levels rising, air being polluted, water being destroyed. There's a lot of issues that we have just as a planet. And then there's the question of, well, who are the people living that and creating that? And so I don't know anybody who would prefer to live in a polluted planet. I don't know anybody who would prefer to live in a polluted inner environment. And so a lot of what Insight is about today is the same as it always was, becoming more of who you already are. Today's world, we do need to work and work perhaps even more than ever. And yet, do we have a job to support our life, or is our life to support our job? I think it's more about how do you have a job that supports your life. And there's a lot of research today that shows when an organization demonstrates caring for its people and allows the people to care for the organization, that the organization blossoms and it does better on all kinds of socioeconomic metrics, including standard things like internal rates of return, shareholder value, stock price. There's a lot of measurable benefit when you look after your people. So in the business consulting I've done over these many years, I guess it's more like I've discovered that business strategies don't work. People work the strategies. Business processes don't work. People work the processes. Now, you need a strategy and you need processes, but if you don't have the right people, it falls apart. So what does it mean to have the right people? Well, you want people who work in your organization to show up alert, focused, concerned, and capable. And you don't want them coming to work worrying about what went wrong at the home. And you don't want people going home at night worrying about what went wrong at work. So there's a certain pathway there which is about helping people discover what matters most and how to make choices that allow them to bring into being what matters most. So I like to talk about making a difference that's worth making. A lot of differences can be made in the world. Not many of them are worth making. What about businesses? Is the business making a contribution worth making? Are we doing something that matters?